Today is Pipe Shapes 101. I want to cover what all these different pipe shapes mean and why they mean what they mean, so that when you hear someone describing a full bent meerschaum, figural billiard, reverse calabash with a tapered stem, you have now in your mind a very poignant picture of what this pipe should look like. And if you don't, well, this video is going to fix that. Let's start with first a little bit of pipe nomenclature, so we cover that and we'll jump right into everything else. This is a billiard style pipe, but for right now that doesn't matter. Let's look at the pipe itself. The pipe breaks off into two different sections. Number one, this is the stummel and this is the stem. In the stummel, this portion right here is the bowl, the chamber. The draught hole is the hole that goes from the bowl to the inside of the mortise right here. This is the shank and this is the mortise. On this stem, this is the tenon, this is the bit, and the edge out here where it kind of protrudes, that's called the button of the pipe. Putting it all together, you have the whole pipe right there, and that's the basic nomenclature of a pipe. Bowl, chamber, stummel is the whole thing. This is the shank and the mortise, and tenon is on this side right here again. And so this is the stem with the bit and the button on the end. If someone refers to the heel of the pipe, they're referring to this section back here. This front section is the heel of the pipe. That's the basic nomenclature of a tobacco pipe. So you're going to hear some phrases and words we go over while we do this video, and I want to make sure we covered that right off the bat. The first pipe shape I want to go over today is the billiard pipe. This is the classic shaped pipe that most people associate with tobacco smoking. This is a straight pipe, straight stem with a tapered stem right here. You can have billiard pipes that have bent stems, and bent stems have stems that come out and do a curve to them. So if you see a pipe with a stem that comes out and bends, that's called a half bend in this shape right here. So a half bent pipe is like so. There are pipes that come in straight stems, bent stems, and full bent stems. I don't have a full bent stem here to show you, but I'm going to pop one up on the screen. The more bent a stem is, the easier it is to clench in your mouth. A straight stem like this billiard can provide a little bit more weight to your mouth as you're clenching it. That angle of the weight, it can fatigue your mouth to hold a straight pipe in your mouth clenched for too long. That's why most folks who like to clench pipes and hold them in their teeth will generally gravitate towards a half bent or full bent pipe that they're looking to do. So this shape is a billiard shape with a straight stem. Now, let's look at a different billiard-like. This pipe is in the billiard family. This pipe is more likely to be called a lumberman in the Canadian family. The Canadian style pipes, and this is where things can get complicated because not everyone agrees. The general consensus is that a Canadian pipe is one where the shank is longer than the bowl is tall. In this case, the shank is longer than the bowl is tall, so this would be considered a Canadian style pipe. Another train of thought is that a Canadian style pipe is only one where the shank is twice the height of the bowl. In this case, I do think this is considered a Canadian style pipe. In the Canadian style pipe family, there are actually 4 different pipes. The Canadian, which has an oval shank, and you can see the shank on here is oval shaped. So a Canadian would be an oval shank with a tapered stem. This stem is a saddle based stem, and because of the saddle stem, this is not a Canadian, it is instead a lumberman pipe. A lumberman has this longer shank and it has an oval shank with a saddle stem. If this had an oval shank and a tapered stem, it would be a Canadian. If this shank was round instead with a tapered stem, it would be a Liverpool shaped pipe. If it had a round shank with a saddle stem like it does, this would then be a Lovat shaped pipe. There are simple changes to this pipe here that make it several different shapes. So that is where things can get complicated. So this one style of pipe having a different shaped shank would be a different style of pipe. A different shaped bit, a different shaped stem, I should say, would make it a different shaped pipe as well. So that would cover the Canadian family of pipes. In regards to a Dublin style pipe, I'm going to hold this billiard, but I'm going to pop up on the screen what a Dublin style pipe looks like, because a Dublin is just like a billiard, but the bowl is shaped canonically outwards, being wider at the top of the bowl than it is the bottom. That is what we know as a Dublin shaped pipe. And you can have a Dublin shaped pipe with a tapered stem, or with a saddle stem, or with a bent stem, or full bent stem, and they are all still Dublin shaped pipes if they have that canonically shaped bowl going outwards towards the top. Now, another shaped pipe that is canonically shaped in the opposite direction, where it's thinner at the top and wider at the bottom, is a Volcano style pipe. This is an artisan pipe made by a fellow named Paul Menard, and this is a Volcano style pipe. It is wider at the bottom than it is at the top, and so pipe tobacco, as it burns through here, will burn wider as the pipe tobacco widens as it goes down into the chamber. This changes the way the tobacco tastes, because when you're starting at the top, you're burning less tobacco and more tobacco as you get down. Volcano pipes don't just come in briar, they can also come in meerschaum styles. Now, this is a meerschaum style Volcano shape as well, and both of them happen to have half bent stems. The difference here is that while this one has a traditional mortise and tenon connection, this meerschaum style pipe has what we call an army connection, and that's where this silver bit here and the acrylic stem fits into a silver bit that holds it in place, and that's called an army style mount. So you can have a Volcano pipe with a bent stem and an army mount. So if you see something referred to as an army mount, that's what we're looking at when we refer to an army mount. This is a pot-shaped pipe. It is an estate pipe that I got from Crest Select. It's beat up. What the pot shape refers to is the shape of the bowl itself. It is squatter and wider than a Dublin, or than a billiard is. And you can see this billiard here is significantly smaller. My thumb fits all the way in there while I can barely get my thumb past the knuckle. I can't even get past the knuckle on this billiard here. So it's a wider chamber, a wider aperture, and a little bit shorter. When it comes to how tobacco pipes smoke differently, this is one of the key factors that's going to determine whether or not a pipe smokes differently, is the width of that chamber. The wider the chamber is, the more tobacco is going to burn at one time. And the more tobacco burning at one time means more smoke goes through the stem and into your mouth, providing a richer and more robust flavor. What is the downside to that? The downside of that is that you're burning more tobacco at once, which means the pipe itself is going to heat up more and you're going to have a hotter smoke. So balancing that is something that every pipe smoker is looking to do all the time, and that's something to keep in mind. While you may have a richer, more robust smoke from a wider chamber in a pot-style pipe, you might not like the added heat that comes from it. This is not a major difference, but it can be a difference. In most cases, you'll see a pot-style pipe will be shorter. That way it's a quicker smoke, and it's not going to have as much time for that tobacco to heat up. Whereas a poker-style pipe, which we'll go over next, is usually a smaller chamber and much taller. A poker-style pipe like this will then allow you to smoke that tobacco for longer because it's a smaller section that's burning, and it won't provide as rich and robust a flavor as a pot style pipe, but it will provide a longer smoke. The nice thing about a poker pipe is they generally sit rather well if you've got one made well. I like the style of a poker pipe immensely. I love how beautiful they look. This one is an artisan pipe made by a fellow named Paul Menard, and I really like it. I like the beautiful stem that he's got on there. It's a fantastic pipe. This is a meerschaum style poker pipe, and it has a straight stem, and it's a tapered stem rather than a saddle stem. This one is my most smoked pipe. I smoke this pipe every single day, 4 to 5 times a day, because I am a meerschaum fan more than anything else. While that is also a poker pipe, both these are straight poker pipes. This pipe is a different poker pipe. It is a slightly bent stem, canted at an angle, and so it's still a poker pipe because it has this large chamber that goes above and below the stem and stummel, And that is also a poker pipe with a bent tapered stem right there. So a nice big pipe. This one's made by a fellow named Glenn Tensky. He makes a line of pipes called Naked Tensky. They're a lot of fun. Next up, I want to talk about author style pipes or author shaped pipes. I have a lot of author shaped pipes. The most popular, probably, author shaped pipes is this one, and these are generally made by Savinelli. This one is a Rossi, and it has this big, thick, tapered stem, absolutely beautiful. It is robust and it is fun. And the author style shape is a big, bulbous, ovular shape to it. It really fits well in the hand. It is large and in charge. This one is made by an artisan pipe maker, and it is also an author style shaped, but it has a saddle stem. See the difference in the stems right there? There's not a huge difference, but it's an author style pipe, saddle stem, author style pipe, tapered stem. Here is another author style pipe with a tapered stem. This is another one of the Glenn Tensky ones. And here is a smaller one. This tiny one, as compared to the Sarah, right? This one is what we call a nose warmer. Now, it is still an author shape. It is tiny in comparison, and it still has a tapered stem, but it's called a nose warmer because it sits so much closer to the face. So while this is an author style pipe, tapered stem, it's called a nose warmer simply because of that. And there are a lot of different styles of nose warmers. Here is a billiard style nose warmer made by Molina, and it is a short pipe as well, simple and small and compact. And they're great. These style pipes are great because they provide a quick smoke. They don't provide a lot of room. They're usually very small chambers, and they allow you to smoke a quick, like lunchtime smoke break that might be 30 or so minutes, depending on how you pack the pipe. And it can go much quicker. Here is a Brandy style shaped pipe. What a Brandy shaped pipe is refers to the style of glass, like the Brandy glasses. They're thinner at the top or canonically shaped, kind of like a Dublin, but rather than a Dublin being more canonically shaped as it goes down, this one rounds around like a Brandy glass that you might be sipping out of. And a lot of folks think that Brandy shaped pipes are great for sipping whiskeys and sipping brandies to go with it, just like you would sip your smoke. So this is a Brandy style pipe with a tapered stem, and it's also a nose warmer because it's so short. So you've got a lot of the descriptors you can use for this little pipe here because of all of those characteristics. Here is another one, and these unfinished pipes here that show that little symbol right there of the crossbones and the bunny ears, that's a Morgan Bones pipe. This one is going to be a bit of an issue here because people have strong opinions about Rhodesians and bulldogs and which one is which. The general consensus is that a pipe that is canonically shaped to the middle and then canonically shaped in the opposite direction like this is a bulldog pipe, unless the stummel here, or the shank I should say, unless the shank here is round, in which case it's a Rhodesian. So this pipe here would be considered a Rhodesian because that stem is round, or the shank here is round in shape. And this one is considered a bulldog because it is diamond shaped. This diamond shape is what sets apart a bulldog shaped pipe from a Rhodesian. That is generally considered true with most folks. Some folks will say there's no such thing as a Rhodesian, there's nothing but bulldogs, and some folks I've heard say there's no such thing as bulldogs, they're all Rhodesians. I think that I lean towards the camp of a diamond-shaped shank here. This makes this a bulldog, and one that has a round shape is a Rhodesian. That leads me to another pipe shape. This one is also a Rhodesian pipe because we've got that canonical shape to it where it comes down to the middle and then comes back in right there. It's got a round shank, so this is a Rhodesian style pipe, but it's a squat Rhodesian. We call pipes squat when they are really thin from top to bottom, when that bowl is compressed. What does that do? That provides a smaller chamber height-wise that allows for a quicker smoke, but this one is canonically shaped on the inside, meaning it gets smaller and is tapered into the middle, providing a quicker smoke and providing a wider burning area at the top and a smaller one at the bottom, so it kind of compacts it in. This provides a quicker smoke, but it is also a straight stem with a saddle stem on here. So there's a lot of descriptors you can use for this one. It is both a squat pipe, it is a Rhodesian, and it has a saddle straight stem. So it's a squat, Rhodesian, straight stem, saddle stem. A lot of descriptors you can use for that particular pipe right there. Another random shape that we happen to have here, this is what they call an egg-shaped pipe. This has got a bent stem and an egg shape to the pipe itself. And you can see why it's called an egg-shaped pipe. It looks vaguely egg-shaped and it's canted forward. Now, of pipes that are canted forward, you're going to see a lot of different varieties, because this is coming in at an angle left to right, from right to left there as it goes forward. And there are other pipes like that. This one here is called a devil ants, this shape of pipe. And this is in the cutty family. Cutty pipes have that forward canted bowl. Now, normally cutty pipes have a little bit on the bottom that you can use to rest it on something. And I'll have one pop up here and show you. And that's because that style of pipes were generally coming from clay pipes, and clay pipes get really hot and you can't hold them in the hand. And so they would rest on something when you weren't using them. This devil ants was made popular recently because it was featured in the Hatfield and McCoys, I believe. Kevin Costner smoked one in that movie. And this one in particular is a nose warmer because it's so short. Again, a saddle stem, really short, devil ants style pitched forward. If this shape here was pitched upwards and was straight up and down, it would be a Prince style pipe. So another fun little fact. Now, of the billiard style pipes, this one is unique because it is a paneled billiard, another descriptor we can use for pipes. Every pipe can be paneled, and because it has 6 sides, this is a hexagon shaped paneled pipe, the paneled being those flat sides there. It's also a rusticated pipe. Rusticated stands for that textured surface there, and it's a straight billiard style paneled pipe. So this is a paneled billiard rusticated pipe with a saddle stem. Now, let's go further down this rabbit hole of billiards. This is a figural pipe. It is a figural pipe because of the intricate carvings. It is a billiard style pipe because of the shape. It has a bent, slightly bent saddle stem, but it also has another feature. This is a reverse calabash pipe. It has a large antechamber back here in the back. What a reverse calabash pipe does is it allows the smoke to travel from the chamber into the secondary chamber. Once in this secondary chamber, the turbulence of the smoke being pulled through will circle around, and condensation and moisture will leave the smoke as it goes through that section and before it goes through the stem and into your mouth. That creates a cooler and drier smoke. A lot of folks, not a lot of folks, some folks don't think that a reverse calabash has a lot to offer. I would suggest smoking one once and then removing the stem and looking inside. The amount of condensation you will see on the walls inside of this pipe after smoking it once will amaze you, and that is all condensation that was removed from the smoke you were smoking. And it is significant when I've seen it. I think that reverse calabash pipes definitely have a place, and they do provide a cooler smoke. So that is what a reverse calabash pipe does. So like I said, this is a billiard style pipe. It's a figural pipe because it's been carved on. It is a bent stem and a reverse calabash because of this large chamber. So a lot of descriptors outside of a baseline billiard pipe here that we can get into. Figural pipes do come in many different varieties though. So let's go over another figural pipe. Figural pipes come in many different shapes and varieties. MBSD Pipes sent me this pipe for the video to go over with you. And this is an intricate carved pipe of Ragnar Lothbrok. So this is a figural meerschaum pipe. It has a large chamber at the top, so large my finger can't even touch the bottom of it, which will provide a very long smoke. It has a longer stem, almost like a church warden, and it has a bent stem as well. Figural pipes are intricately designed and carved. You can see the patterns here in the hair and in the stem itself. Really just absolutely beautiful pipe, wonderfully done. And a lot of meerschaum pipes are like this. They'll have those intricate carvings, intricate designs that you can find. They're just absolutely amazing. And this is one of those pipes that you smoke and you need to be able to set it down because you're not going to clench this. It is really quite heavy and it's a really deep chamber. So another style of figural pipe, not all figural pipes are meerschaum. Here's a figural pipe that I call the pervert. This is a carved briar pipe that someone did, and a fan of my wood carving channel sent this to me because they knew I smoked pipes, and I laugh at it every time I see it. This one is not usable. The stem is stuck in place. It doesn't come out, and the draught hole is completely plugged up. But it's a good conversation piece to talk about and show folks. It's a billiard style pipe with a saddle stem, and it's figural because obviously of the carved female figure. So figural style pipes can come in many shapes and varieties, and that's the point of what I wanted to show you with this particular pipe right there. Those are the pipe shapes, the general pipe shapes I wanted to cover in today's video. Pipe shapes I don't have with me. I want to address the calabash pipe. We talked about the reverse calabash pipe is a way to recreate what is seen in a regular calabash pipe. And a regular calabash pipe is a gourd style pipe where they use the shell of a gourd to create this large chamber, and they have a briar insert or a meerschaum insert that goes into the top of the pipe, and that creates this large chamber where smoke can cool down before going into someone's mouth. And you'll see Sherlock Holmes style characters smoking one, and I believe I have covered everything I wanted to cover for pipe shapes. And that's all I got for today, folks. Thank you so much for sticking around the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, head over to Instagram, Facebook, give me a like and a follow over there if you would. You guys all have a great evening.